We are here at Texas Card House playing a live stream 2-5 with professionals. It just happened and it is absolutely insane.
$1,000 buy-in. Pocket jellos treat me right, they treat me wrong. Who knows?
Frankie, what happens with you?
I have a very big hand. You'll see shortly.
Yeah, you
Let's
will.
go!
First hand for me, we look down at the beautiful ace queen of spades under the gun +2. The straddle is on to $10. That won't be enough. I bump it up to $30 and only the straddler makes the call. We're going heads up to a flop, which comes ace 7 deuce rainbow. We hit our top pair on a super dry board. When he checks, I actually elect not to c-bet here. We have a great hand as straddler's range is going to be wide. I want to give him a chance to get a little bluffy or potentially hit something on the turn. The turn hits me. It is the queen of diamonds giving us top 2 pair, and when he checks again, we're not wasting any time. It's time to put out a bet for value. I make it 35. You guys can see he's got 5-6 offsuit and makes the fold. I'm happy we checked flop, gave him a chance to catch up, and we take this one down.
First hand, we pick up ace king offsuit under the gun, and I open it to $15. Folds all the way around to Greg in the small blind. He's been talking crap to me all week about how he wants to get in pots with me, so I'm happy to see him put some chips in the middle with ace 6 of clubs. Big blind folds, we're off to a flop, heads up. In position, it comes 9, 6, 8 with 2 diamonds and a spade. He checks to me. This board's pretty bad for my range, so I check it back. Turn is the 9 of hearts. And Greg leads out here for $25. I think he knows that this board's better for him. He's a good player. And so I come along and make the call with my ace king high, and the river brings a queen of spades. Now this card's better for me, gonna connect with me a lot more. However, he continues the story for $75. Not exactly sure what type of holding he has here, but it looks like he wants value. Pretty shocked to see he only has bottom pair here. But I let my hand go, and we're on to the next one.
After an hour 15 in the booth, I knew this would be no easy game. There's a lot of good players at the table. I'm on the button with king 7 offsuit. I make it $30 to go in the straddle pot. King high offsuit on the button usually is good enough for a raise. We see just one call from Bet on Drew with queen jack offsuit, going off to a flop, which comes 7, 6, ace, all hearts. He checks to me, and I check back the bottom pair. The turn is the king of hearts. Interesting card. I got 2 pair, but there's a 4-liner into a flush. He now leads out for $10. I make a call here, hoping to hit a 7 or a king, and the river is a queen of clubs. While Andrew is in the tank deciding what to do, I think he checks. The dealer gives me a little motion. I misread it, and I announce 2 pair. Drew then bets $60. I just give up and fold. I mean, I told him my hand, and after Drew said he didn't even hear me, so this accident might have saved me money.
I'm hoping to catch a big hand and set a trap tonight, go fishing and set some bait. Good news for us, we've got the hooks on the button, pocket jellos. Dan in the cutoff opens up jack 9 suited to $15. I 3-bet him to $40. Folds around to him and he makes a call. Off to flop, it comes queen 7 deuce, 2 hearts and a spade. He checks to me. I slow play this and check it back, hoping he takes the bait. Turns a 6 of clubs and he does. He leads out for $35. I just make the smooth call, and the river brings a 5 of diamonds. He's drawn dead already by the turn. We've got that check mark. Hopefully we can stay around when he bets $75 into us. I'm pretty sure I've got him right where I want him. I think it over for just a second before making the call. He tells us we're good. The bait was snagged and we reel in a little pot our way.
This hand we are playing 1, 3, 10, 20. Lovely. And we look down at the lovely red ladies in the hijack. I open up to $60. Only the under the gun straddler calls with jacks. We have an opportunity to make some money here. Until the flop comes ace king 5, of course. He checks. I obviously don't like this board with queens, but I'm still going to c-bet. I make it 60, and jacks hate this board just as much as I do. Alex folds, so we take it down, but definitely wish the run out was a little bit better here. No worries, on to the very next hand dealt, in which we get ace 7 of spades. Only 1 straddles on this time, so we open it up to 30 in middle position. Party, the man on the button, comes in with the button 3-bet to $75 with his jacks this time. Alex cold calls the 3-bet in the big blind, and it's back to me. I definitely don't like the idea of playing a weak ace out of position in a 3-bet pot, but Party picked a small sizing, Alex comes along giving me a better price, and Party's been extremely active at the table as well. So I decided to make the call this time, and the flop is pretty good. It is 8 queen deuce with 2 spades. We check to Party, and he checks, giving us a free turn, which is pretty chill. It's the 5 of spades, and we have the nuts. Alex checks. It's time to go for value. I make it $100. and only Party calls. Off to a river, which pairs the board. I don't love that, it's a 5, but still time to get some value nevertheless. I make it 200 into 437. Party, as you guys can see, doesn't have a great hand. He quickly and correctly folds his jacks, and we take this one down.
Not too long after that, we see Party, one of the most action players at the table, open up pocket 9s in the +3 to $15. I complete on the big blind with ace-8 offsuit, and we're off to a flop. We hit a flop of queen ace deuce with 2 diamonds and a spade. I check, and he continuation bets for $25. I make the call, not going anywhere, top pair, and the turn brings a queen of diamonds. The flush draw gets there. Middle pair now has trips. I check to him, and he finger gun checks it right on back to me. The river brings along the 10 of spades. Not a great card all in all. I decided to check this one over to him once again, planning to call a bet of reasonable size, when he grabs 5 green chips and tosses them in the middle, an overpot bet for $125. This is super polarizing, and I don't think he's repping any better ace than me. I think he's only repping a queen, some sort of flush, pocket 10s, or maybe king jack that spiked a straight on the river. This board is juicy. I don't block any straights. I don't block any flushes. And so I return my cards to the dealer, let him have this one. He flashes me pocket 9s, knowing he got one through on us. Nice bet, Party. I'll be looking out for that later on in the stream.
We are back, this time with ace queen in the hijack. We see Dan raise it up in +3 to $15. I think he's raising just a little bit too light. Ace queen is a very good hand, so I decide to 3-bet here to $50. Folds to the small blind, which is our buddy Drew again, and he has ace king in 4 bets to $205. Party gets out of the way, Dan gets out of the way, back to me. I think he's going to be playing a lot of hands in the small blind as a 4-bet or fold. I think he can maybe have queen jack suited in there, which I dominate, but most of the combinations are going to be aces, kings, and ace king, which we are completely crushed by, so I decide to lay my hand down here, which was the right fold.
3 hands in a row right here. We see Rob open up king 10 in the +2 to $15. He was the tightest at the table for sure.
In his excitement.
Yeah, it is going to be a raise. How much is he going to make it?
Counting everything, he might just rip it. Rob definitely running through all of his options.
Yeah, definitely in the tank right now. What would you guys do with ace king and fold?
Whoa!
What?
Whoa!
What?
Please show it. He shows
he
it.
shows it.
Greg P, this man's got game, bro.
Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
what an overfold by Rob.
Oh my gosh. I really am surprised by that. I am surprised.
Whoa.
I saw him fold a 4-bet earlier with ace king, so I actually respect this raise a bit. When I look at queen jack offsuit on the button, I could 3-bet this sometimes, but I just make the call. Everyone else folds. Flop comes 7-8 queen with 2 diamonds in a club. He checks to me, and I don't want to let this go check. I bet $15, keeping it small, hoping he floats with something like ace king. However, he snap check raises me here to $45. This is really confusing because I'm not sure what he would check raise on such a dynamic board like this with. I think if he had an overpair, he would just straight up lead out. Maybe he's got a flush draw here. Not sure, but I'm not going anywhere with top pair. I make the call for $30 more. The turn brings a 10 of hearts. He now hits his pair and decides to slow down and check. I check it back for some pot control, and the river brings a deuce of hearts. Most draws missed, and Rob leads out for $35. Such a small bet into a large pot. I'm not going anywhere. I think it over for a quick second before tossing in the call. He flips over the pair of 10s. I show him the queen, and we scoop in this pot our way.
In this hand, +2 raises up to $15 with 8-5 suited. He's the only player at this table who's not Mr. GTO and would like to mix it up here. So I'm excited when I look down at queen 10 of clubs to make the call and be going heads up to a pot against Alex. The flop comes king 2-8, 2 hearts. He smashes his flop, which obviously I don't know. He bets $20 in this flop, and because there's the 8 of clubs out there, I've got a lot of good backdoors. I do make the call here, which is a pretty light float. The turn is one of those beautiful cards. It's a 9 of clubs. He now bets $55. I've seen him bluff plenty of times. I think about raising here and trying to get him to fold. He is never going to fold a flush draw here, and he's never going to fold a pair of kings. So what's the point of raising? He's probably not going to be double barreling his just pair of 8s, which in this case he has the 8 and the flush draw, so he's definitely not folding if I had raised. And I do just make the call here with my monster draw in the river. Rosie, you just tell him.
Oh, club though. Gets a straight
flush to the
Wait a
queen.
minute. Frankie.
Frank the Bank just lives up to his namesake and goes runner, runner, straight flush.
I can't believe it. We hit a straight flush. Runner, runner. Alex slows down and checks to me. I am not checking. I think he's definitely kind of weak at this point. I'm hoping to get value from a king. I bet $75. A rather small bet, and Alex, sense his weakness. Back to Rosie.
Oh, is he gonna raise it? Right
Oh
now?
my God.
Hey, Rosie, is he gonna get a check raise from Alex with the absolute stone nuts? Frankie's gonna have to put on his own show.
Oh my God. Oh my.
No!
God. Oh my God.
You run so good, buddy.
No, dude.
Frank.
No, dude.
I share in the excitement of the announcers. I cannot believe that I just got raised when I have the absolute stones. I try to look like a stone, a statue myself, and I do rip it all in, hoping he has a worse flush, and he snap folds. He was bluffing. What a hand. We run so nice on streams. You have to watch our streams because we're hitting a hot hand.
This hand we see Party open it up with ace 10 to $15. Rob calls with sixes, and I have ace 10 of the suited variety in the big blind and make the call. Three ways to the flop of 9, 7, 10 all diamonds. We pick up top pair, top kicker, but little do we know, Party has that as well and is also free rolling to the ace of diamonds nut flush. I check to him, he bets 30. Rob calls with his gut shot straight flush draw, and I actually think for a bit here. I consider raising as this is a super wet board, and I think I have the best hand here a lot. I do decide on just a call. A raise probably would have not gone well giving Party's specific hand. And the turn is also not cool, does not go well either. It's the two of diamonds. I check, basically done with the hand at this point. It does check around, Party's trapping. The river is the jack of clubs. I check again. Party bets 100. Rob actually makes the call here, and I fold pretty quickly, and Party takes it down.
Biggest pot of the night alert. We see Greg open up 8-5 of spades. I'm in the cutoff with jacks. I'm definitely going to 3-bet him, try to get it heads up. I 3-bet to $45. Folds to bet on Drew in the small blind. He ponders it for a bit before grabbing some green chips and tossing in a 4-bet to $200 with pocket queens, the ladies. Folds back around to me. The effective stack size was around $1,000. This is a really tough spot. I'm in position, but it's a large amount to call. If I call for 150 more, the pot will be around $400 and we'll each have only about 800 left in our stack. 4 bets from the small blind indicate a lot of strength, and I actually strongly consider just outright folding right now. However, I've got the pocket jellos. They've treated me well so far. I call for 155 more, and we're off to a flop. Becomes deuce 6-6, 2 diamonds and a spade.
Oh, it's all in. It's totally all in. Let's go. 2 overcards. Both players a 2 pair. Both players with a diamond, too, for the backdoors.
The stream hasn't been action-packed so far, so Ben's super hyped to see some blood. This board's going to make it really hard for me to get away from my hand. Drew leads out for $200 again, a typical C-bet here. I think he can have ace-king and ace-queen here sometimes, and I don't think I'm going to fold just yet. I actually consider raising, but the only hands that I'm currently beating that are going to call me contain ace-queen or ace-king of diamonds, which are actually a favorite to beat me. For those reasons, I don't think I can fold, but I definitely don't want to raise. I make the flat call. Frankie rubs his hands together. He's using that genie magic to bring a jack on the turn. Can we hit it? It comes to queen of hearts. Drew drills top full house here. He's got pretty much the nuts. All in all, this actually might be a savior card for me, especially when Drew decides to slow down and check. Now I've pretty much limited his hands to 2 options, either ace king or pocket queens. Not sure which one he has though. I think he'd play both the same exact way. I decide to pot control and check this one back and assess a river. It comes to 9 of hearts. The diamond draw misses, and he leads out for $200. This is where things get really tough for me. I think a lot of players are going to jam this river as a bluff and bet small like $200 to try to get value with hands like aces, kings, or queens. However, Drew's not an average player, he's a pro, so I think he can mix in some bluffs for small amounts as well, trying to get me to fold out hands like pocket 10s and pocket jacks. I'm getting 5-1 on a call. I toss in those 8 green chips and he shows me the bad news. The ladies, what are you gonna do? Can't live with them, can't live without them.
The very next hand, after scooping that big pot with the straight flush, I looked down at pocket 10s in the hijack. I raised it to $15, and Party, who has the highest VPIP at the table, which means he's playing the most hands, he 3-bets me in the blinds to $50. This is never a fold. I'm actually thinking about 4-betting here. If I was out of position, I might do that against a player who I think is going to be raising very wide. In this case, he's not. He's got kings. I do just make the call, thankfully. No 4-bet. I'm in position. Let's see a flop, which comes 8-4-5, 2 spades. I wish some overcards would have came to help me get away from this hand. Oh well, he bet $75 on this flop. I've got an overpair and I basically don't want to call here and then fold a turn when a jack, queen, or king or ace comes on the turn. So for that reason, I decided to go for a raise here to $160. I want to take the aggression now. I want to control the betting on all the streets for the remaining of this hand. Party ruins our plans. He 3-bets the flop to $500. $500 US. Party is definitely an action player, and I just think that at this point, after 3-betting the flop and 3-betting pre-flop, he's basically just announced to me that he's got a very strong hand. So I reluctantly make the fold, and we get out of this hand only losing about 200 something bucks.
Shows the hand.
Frankie's clapping. He's happy.
Look how stoked he is. Yeah, love this.
At next gen, we love a good fold.
Wow, wow, wow. Into the game for 1,000 for me, out for 1120. I beat the pros, Mom.
I was in the game for 1,500, out for 900, unfortunately.
I was in for 1,000, straight flushed my way to $935.
We'll take it. If you like the video, leave a like. On to the next one.
And subscribe.
Peace.
Peace!